Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good morning. I hope I am audible and visible to all of you. Can you see me all? Can you see me all? Am I audible, visible, beta? Good afternoon everyone. Everyone is sending me message on this direct message. Anyone in the office, please make me the co-host on the other one. Not possible for me to see the chats on this ID. So if you can't send me message on the other ID, what you do beta is send messages in general in what you call everyone group. I hope you can do that. You can send messages in the everyone group. I hope that can be done because I don't think I am the host here. So if I'm not the co-host there, I won't be able to see the messages there. Anyways, I hope all of you are fine. Everyone is also not there. Okay, bad, bad. Okay, so anyone in the office, please make the other ID co-host. Not possible for me to see the chat if I don't have the co-host enabled on the other ID. I hope you know that. So please make me co-host on the other ID. Anyways, I hope you had your exam yesterday. How was the exam, everyone? How did you find the exam? Was it easy? Was it tough? Let me open the chat. It was good. Abhiram, what was your score? What about the score of others? Niharika, everyone. Tell me your scores. Niharika, Tarun, Vishal, Akshara, 140. Good. Abhiram has been scoring consistently at 140 and 150s. That's a good score. What about the others? Niharika, Tanu, Vishal, Akshara. How have been your scores in the test yesterday? Abhiram, what was your overall score? All three combined. Tarun 120. Tarun good. 120 is good. You can again work harder. Abhiram got around 360, 360 out of 540. Abhiram, you should improve a bit. I think. I think if you're getting 140 here, 180 in the other one, 220. Okay. You can improve, Abhiram. Tarun 120 is good, very good. You can, I think, get more marks, Tarun. I hope I know that you are better. You can do better than this. I think you could easily reach around 140. But see, everything cannot happen in a day. Work harder. I know you have been participating in the classes. I hope you understand what is happening in the class. So just work on it. And I think even 120 is good. But if you got to get into the 600 plus range, that should be somewhere around 140. You just need 20 marks. So you can push for those 20 marks. I'm sure you can do this, Tarun. What about the others? Akshara, Niharika, TNK. Who is this TNK? I don't know. Vishal, what about your marks? Okay. I think there are problems with people joining and people leaving. And anyways, I have this PDF of the paper. Do you have the PDF of this paper? Okay, Akshara, you didn't write the exam. Why, beta? What happened? You're okay health wise. I hope you are not ill or something. Why did not you give the exam? Don't feel like giving the exam or what? Exam fever. See, I told you the mistake that I have made in my life. I never gave any exam apart from the first three that I gave for brilliant, and my rank was plus under 100, 70, 75. I stopped. Okay. I hope you are well extra now. You must take good care of your health. especially in these circumstances where even see, I'm having a bit of cold. Even if someone is having a bit of cold, everyone gets scared, So you must take good care of your health. You don't have to write exam if you are ill. You can always have that off. And probably, Tanu, well done, 133. It's not easy, Tanu. I mean, nothing comes easy. And if you are saying that my exam physics paper was easy, I feel ashamed. It was not easy, beta. It was not easy. The paper that I gave you, trust me, it was above the standard of NEET. Well done. See, that means you've been working hard, Tanu, and the result is your work hard paper. And I always said physics is easy. The question that comes in your exam are exactly on this pattern, beta. In fact, some questions were tougher than not all the questions. See, I cannot make all the questions, 45 questions tough, because I have to make paper according to what you expect in an examination hall. Some question would be tough, some question would be medium level, some question would be very easy. I made the same paper, was of the same level. In fact, it was slightly tougher than the actual NEET exam. And Tanu, if you're doing 133, that is excellent. That is well done. What about others, Niharika? Tanu, what matters is that you try. You get whatever marks, maybe 30, 40, 50. You can always improve on those. There's nothing in this universe that cannot be done if you have the passion to do it. And I am the best example. I keep on falling, but I keep on getting up. And I run faster than the previous time when I fell down. And one day I'll be the fastest man alive. Flash is the fastest man alive, I think. I love this character, Flash. He runs very fast. And he's a nice guy. Everyone loves him. No one loves me though. But you can always try your best. Okay, so the paper is there with me in the PDF form. Do you have this paper with you? Do you have the PDF of this paper with you? Yes or no? I'll ask the office people to send a PDF on the to you as well, so that you can know PDF. Don't worry, I have the PDF, so I'll post it, or I'll ask Himanshu or Kundan or someone else to post it, so that you can have a look. If you have a look at the PDF, you can have a look at all the questions that have come. And then if you feel that some question you cannot do, you can ask me on the Telegram group. I will help you out. I'll just go through some questions since the PDF is open. I'll just go through them. Question number 46. A bullet is fired from a cannon with a velocity of 500 meter per second. So initial velocity is given. Angle of projection is given as 15 degree. G is 10. What is the range? You can put the formula of range: U square sine 2 theta by G or 2G. G. You can get the answer. Tick it. Move ahead. A ball thrown by a boy is caught after another 2 seconds, some distance away from the same level. If the angle of projection is 30 degrees, what is the velocity of projection? So this question is given in a roundabout manner. 2 seconds is the total time of flight. Angle of projection is 30 degrees. What is the velocity of projection? Total time of flight is 2u sine theta by g. That is given. Theta is given. So you can very well find out the initial velocity. Here, value of g is not given. So you have to take g as, yes, Tarun, that is correct, 19.6. That is correct. See, these are the type of questions, beta, that you are asked in the examination hall. Trust me. A boy covers 50-meter distance when projected with an initial speed, so we don't know the speed. On the same surface, it will cover a distance when projected with double of the initial speed. So they are finding out the relation between range and your initial speed, and that is u squared, right? So if you make it twice, if you make the speed twice, your range will become 4 times, and that will be your answer. As simple as that. Do you understand this? So everything, all the question that I see here, 4 bodies P, Q, R, and S are projected with equal velocities having projection. We did this in the class 15, 30, 45, and 60, which is having the shortest range. So you find the value of sine of 2 theta, whatever is shortest, you have the answer. For a projectile, the range of maximum height to the time of flight, we have done this, right? Stone is projected at an angle theta with a horizontal, it is maximum height h1 when it is projected with the u2 at an with the same velocity u2 at an angle pi by 2 minus theta. So both the angles are complementary. Complementary angles, range is same. Whatever maximum height, you can easily find out the relation between the range and the maximum heights, right? Range will be same. Maximum height in one case will be u square sine square theta by 2g. In second case, u square sine square 90 minus theta by 2g. Sine square of 90 minus theta will be cos theta, and you can sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta. You can find out that relation pretty easily. Which of the following set of factors will have effect on the horizontal distance? Horizontal distance between means range. I think we had done this question previously. See, questions are same. Since we are doing so many papers every week, the questions are, you will see the same question in different types, different languages, different ways being asked. The only way to succeed in life, especially in exam or in life in general, to do as many questions as possible. And I told you beforehand, I think last week, every week if you are appearing for test, you have 45 questions in the test. You have 54 weeks in a year, multiplied by 2 in 2 years, you will have approximately 90 to 100 weeks, approximately 90 to 100 papers, only weekly papers. Then you will have your all India test series and this and that. You will give at least 100 to 125 to 150 papers. Higher side 150 at least. 150 multiplied by 45 is just a tremendous number. Out of those questions, you will find at least 25 to 30 to 35 coming in your exam. I can give that to you in writing. In writing, I'll give it to you. Signed and autographed by me. Not autographed, signed by me. You'll find the same question in your NEET exam. And then you will understand the importance of giving each and every paper. Even if you miss a paper, ask for the questions that have been asked in the paper. I will make a system. I'll ask these office people to send the PDF to you so that you can go through these questions, because trust me, save these PDFs at one place in your laptop. When the final day comes, when you are revising for the final day, you don't have to go do anything. Just do these questions and you stay happy. Okay. Most of these questions were pretty easy. Pretty easy. What I mean, we have covered everything. And these are the questions that you will find in the exam. So there is nothing that we haven't covered that was there in the exam, right? All types of questions we have covered. For a given velocity, a projectile has same range for two. So this is complementary angles. I gave you the formula for complementary angles, time of flight. Everything you see that was covered in the class in some way or the other way. Because even though the course is vast, we know what is the range, what is the set that NEET follows, or what is the set that JEE follows. In that set, you will have everything. So whatever questions you have discussed, it's impossible, impossible, that you get a question out of those sets. That's why save these questions. These questions are going to be your SOS. Do you know what you mean by SOS? Save our souls. When you are doing preparation for your final exams, you will find this SOS. Save our souls. Do these many questions, your entire curriculum is revised. Each and everything is revised. Because I have covered each and everything at least 5 to 10 times in all these questions. Everything that we have done in the class has been covered thoroughly to the best of my ability. And the best of my ability is better than anyone's ability. I know that. So that's why I'm saying it with so much confidence. Do these questions. See, neglecting the air resistance, what is the time of flight? I told you it depends on the vertical component of velocity. Same thing had been asked in a different way. You'll always find the same thing. You'll always find the same thing asked in a different way. Tanu would say, yes, sir. The same thing has been asked in a different way. Sometimes it is the formula is given in this way. Sometimes the formula is given in that way. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference. I hope you understand this, right? And I hope that you will be giving your papers seriously. Whatever papers you give, whenever you give them seriously. Is to miss them, look for the question, ask for the question, ask the office people to give you the question. Okay, option B is correct. See, everyone knows it. So that is what you want to understand better. Tanu. Same thing is asked in different ways. The more the question, see, now if you have done this question once, and if you're lucky enough, you will find this question in the examination paper. You just don't have to solve it. You can just take it, tak, gone, done. I don't have to do anything else. That is the faida. That is the advantage of giving so many papers. Everything that you do, you might not find its merit at that point in time. But when time comes, you will understand the merit. I understood the merit of giving papers when I was sitting in the main examination hall. Oh God, why did not I give papers? But then that was it. What has been done in the past cannot be undone. I can't travel back in time and tell my younger self, younger Astik, you are stupid. Go and give those papers in the billion tutorial exam. Go and give them. I could not do it. You can't do it. Time travel is not possible at this point in time. So, on that note, what I'll do is we'll begin with today's class. And today's class is all about what we were discussing in the yesterday's class. Yesterday means the day when we had the last class. What we were discussing in that class? What we were discussing in that class, anyone? Option B is correct. Anu is saying. What we were discussing in the last class, I think we were discussing tension in the string, isn't it? And we had seen some points about tension in the string. Now, I can't go back to all of those points because it will take a lot of time, but we had seen that what can tension do. I will just recap it. I will not write it, I'll just recap it. If the string is massless, the strings are always massless and frictionless. They are known as ideal string. Tension in the string will remain same if the string is massless. Then we'll have tension can only pull, it cannot push. If two bodies are attached by the same string, they will have same magnitude of displacement, same magnitude of acceleration, same magnitude of velocity. Why I said magnitude of velocity? Because they can have different directions. Then we had pulley. All pulleys are massless and frictionless. Pulleys are not going to rotate. String is going to slip over the pulley. Pulleys are only means of changing the direction of motion. What else? Yes, that was it. And tension in the string will always remain same whenever it is moving above the pulley. If there are different strings, you will have different tensions and so on. Tension can only pull, it cannot push. Now based on those, what we are going to do, we are going to draw some FBDs. We remember FBDs, our old friend FBDs. What were FBDs? What were FBDs? Anyone? Free body diagrams. That is correct, Abhiram. Free body diagram. You are dealing with free body diagram. Let us draw free body diagram and let us now take tension into the consideration. So I have this ceiling, I have this rope or a string and a body of mass M attached to this string. And then I ask you, draw the FBD of M. FBD of the block M. I'll give you a minute. Can you draw the FBD of the block M? Hmm. Were you able to solve this? Free body diagram of M, block M. How do you draw it? Okay, I draw one for you. And then I will ask you to do the rest. Now, how will you draw the free body diagram of this one? It's pretty damn simple. You draw the forces that you see. What are the forces that you see? The first one is my weakest force, which is gravity, which is always acting downwards, mg. Now, if there's only one force acting on this body, this will move down, it will accelerate. It does not, it remains there. Something must be stopping it. What is stopping it? It is attached to a rope or a pulley or a wire or a string. That rope or pulley or wire or string is applying tension. And tension cannot push, tension can only pull. So tension in the rope is pulling it T. I call it. This is the free body diagram of block M. Do we understand? Starting from Vasant, TNK 3203, Tarun, Tanu, Niharika, Vishal, BIPC 136, 1303. Are we all there? Do we understand? This is a very simple diagram, and I must tell you that these simple diagrams are just going to get complicated. If you understand the simple diagram, you should be able to make a complicated one as well. Okay. Next one. This is block M1. This is block M2. Now my question is, draw the free body diagram of, and what is this? What is this? What is this goal thing? Round thing? What is this? Anyone? This is your pulley. This is our own pulley. So you have to draw the free body diagrams of M1, M2, and the pulley. Why pulley, you will ask? I'll tell you why the pulley. M1, M2, and the pulley. How many strings do you see here? Anyone? How many strings do you see here? How many strings do you see here? Can anyone tell me how many strings do you see here? I see two strings. This is string number 1 and this is string number 2. Do we all see the same strings? Do we all see two strings? This is string number 1 and this is string number 2. Do we all see two strings, or am I the only one who is seeing the two strings? Or do all of us see two strings here? One string is holding the pulley in place and the other string is moving round about the pulley. There are two strings. So now I'm waiting for you to complete your free body diagram. Abhiram, have you completed your diagram? Abhiram has raised hand. Abhiram, can you unmute yourself and tell me how you have drawn the free body diagram? Or anyone who has done this? Starting with Vasant, TNK, Tarun, Tanu, Niharika, Vishal, BIPC 136, 133, Vaishnavi, which is TNK 3202, or Abhiram, who is 2305. I hope these are your numbers, probably roll numbers. Anyone can tell me how you have drawn the free body diagram? Yes, who was this? Tell me. Who wants to help me in solving this? Niharika, are you there? I have not got any response from you in today's class. No one feels confident. Okay, then I will do it. So let us first start with the free body diagram of M1. And how does the free body diagram of M1 look like? The first force. So I used the wrong ink. The first force is the force of gravitation, M1G, which is acting downwards. Now, this block is also attached to a string. String is going to pull it. Pull, pull, pull. Pull means it will take it upwards, T1. So this becomes the free body diagram of M1. Why I written it T1? Because I understand that there are two strings. So therefore there will be two tensions. I call one tension, first tension as tension 1, T1, so that I can call the next tension as T2. Do you all understand this? Can I have some reason that you understand this, sir? Free body diagram of M1 is what I have drawn. Tarun understands this. What about the others? Abhiram also joins the group. What about the others? Akshara also joins the group. Good. I have participation. Vasant also joins the group. Vaishnavi is still missing. Niharika is missing. Tanu is missing. I hope they join the party as well. There's a party going on here where we are drawing the free body diagrams of M1, which has already been done. Can anyone tell me what will be the free body diagram of M2? M2. The first force will be gravity, M2G. Always downwards, never changes. Then it is attached to a string, and that string is same as the string attached to M1. So the tension will be same. I have not told whether the string has mass or not, but you always remember that strings are massless, pulleys are massless, no friction, no mass, nothing. So the tension would be same here. Tension can only pull. So this would be the free body diagram of block M2. Do we all understand this? Free body diagram of block M2. Everyone understands this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this, sir? Free body diagram of M2. I have not done anything special. I have not done anything special here. Okay. Now comes the chance for us to draw the free body diagram of the pulley. Now, no one is going to ask you the free body diagram of the pulley, but I just want to make some points clear. Now, what are the forces acting on the pulley? The pulley is attached by two strings. String number 1, which moves above it, and string number 2, which ties it to the ceiling. String number 1 will try to pull it because strings can only pull, strings cannot push. So it will pull it downwards because that is the only way it can pull it. So tension will be downwards for the pulley. And since the tension is T1 and tension does not change, T1 is the tension downwards. And on the pulley, it is applied twice because one tension is from this side, M1 side, one tension is from M2 side. Do we understand this? That's why there are two tensions on the pulley. And the name is T1 because string is same. Tension in the string remains same. Do we all understand this? Simple things put together. We are just trying to put together everything that we have learned in the previous class. Can I have some reason that we understand this? Only two people have understood this? Okay, I am having participation. Niharika is still lost. Tanu is still lost. Tanu, Niharika, you are there. Vaishnavi. Okay. We are coming up. We are coming up. Great. What next? Now, you also have a string 2. Now, the string 2 is also going to pull. How will this string 2 pull the pulley? It has to pull it upwards because it cannot push it. This will be push for the string 2. This will be the pull. Since this is a different string, I call it T2. So, if I just make it separately for you, one tension is here, T1. One tension is here, T2, T1, sorry. And one tension is here, T2. This is the free body diagram of the pulley. Do you all understand this? Can I have some reason that you understand this, sir? It is pretty damn simple, sir. Two tensions are trying to pull it down. Tension of the string one. One tension is trying to pull it up. Tension of the string two. We call it T2. So T2 is upwards and T1 are downwards. Now remember, this is an ideal pulley. No mass, no friction. Whenever we have this ideal pulley, no mass, no friction. This tension T2, which is upwards, so upward force or sideward force on this pulley, there is no side force here. Upward force will always be equal to downward force because there is no tension, because there is no mass. Upward force is more and downward force is less. It will have a force MA acting on it, but there is no mass, so there should not be any force, and hence T2 should be equal to 2 times T1. Upward force is T2, downward force 1 is T1, other is also T1. So T2, which is the upward force, will be equal to T1 plus T1, 2 times T1. Do we understand this, or is it too difficult for you to understand? Since the pulley has no mass, upward force must be equal to downward force. Upward force is T2, downward force is T1 plus T1. So T2 becomes 2 times T1. Do we understand this? Can I have some raise hand that we understand this, sir? Raise hand gives me more confidence that we understand this. Tarun understands this. Abhiram joins the group. Akshara, Vaishnavi. Akshara also joins the party. Niharika she is missing. I don't know where she is. I must file a missing girl complaint. Tanu has come from somewhere. Great. Niharika is still missing. And I don't know the name of BIPC 3, 13.3 and 13.6. So they are missing anyways, since I don't know their name. TNK 30203, whatever it is also missing. Now someone else has joined the party. Vaishnavi is there. Great. That means we are the message is getting to the other side that this is pretty simple. Now see, only two masses. I'm going to increase the number of masses. That doesn't mean that a problem gets complicated. No. I always tell a complicated problem is made up of simple problems. Even if you find a problem complicated, try to break it up into simpler ones. Mhm, 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 mhm. And you will be very surprised to see that you will be solving these problems on your own without any help. Looks good. Looks complicated. Tell me first, how many masses do you see? As a simple two masses, M1, M2. What is this? How many pulleys do you see? Two pulleys, one and two. What, sir? You're not that stupid, sir. One and two pulleys. How many strings do you see? Complicated or not? No, sir, no complicated. There's three strings. If I call the longest string as one, this is also one, and this is also one. Do we understand this? It is the same string which is going through the pulley one, tung, 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 coming down, tung, 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 through the pulley two, tung, 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 and going up. The same string one. Then you can call this string as two, and you can call this string as three. No matter how you call it, you to draw the free body diagrams of the masses and the pulleys, and you can apply some common sense. The same common sense that I applied here, I will not write T1, T2 and all that. I will try to simplify it. See if you can do this. Free body diagram of this particular case. If anyone would like to help me, Tanu is still raised hand. She has kept her raised hand so that she doesn't have to raise hand again. But I am smarter, so I'll lower her hand now so that she has to raise it again. Free body diagram of M1, M2, P1, pulley 1, P2, pulley 2. Your time starts now. If anyone has done this, they can raise their hands so that I can start doing my part. Abhiram, Akshara, Vaishnavi, Vishal, 1303, 1306, Niharika, Tanu, Tarun, TNK 3203, Vasant Sai 2304. Anyone could do this problem, beta? Seems like the problem has confused you. That was the reason of giving this problem. Chalo, I will do my part and I hope you can do the next one. The first, I'll try to draw the free body diagram of M1. And the first force which I always draw without any hesitation is M1G, which is the force of gravity acting vertically downwards. What next? This block is attached to a string number 1. Let me call the tension as T. I'm not calling it T1 because I just don't want to use T1, T2, T3. I'll apply some common sense. T1. So I call it T. This becomes the free body diagram of M1. Please raise hands so that I understand that you could have drawn this. You should have drawn this. You have definitely drawn this. Akshara has drawn this. Abhiram also joins. Akshara. Only 2 people have drawn this. What about the others? What are we doing in the class? Tanu, Vasant, Tarun, Niharika, BIPC 1303, 1303, 1306, 2301, 3203, Vaishnavi. Okay. This is the free body diagram of M1. Now see, this string is 1. So tension in this string will always remain same. I called one tension as T. So all the tensions are T. Now this pulley will be pulled by this string. So this will be T. Same string, this will be T. This pulley will also be pulled by this, but it will be pulled upwards. Remember, pulley number 1 is pulled downwards, but pulley number 2 is pulled upwards. Strings can only pull, they cannot push. T and the same tension T acts here. So I've drawn the tension in the string 1. At all the points, it is trying to pull. It is trying to pull the mass M1. It is trying to pull the pulley 1. It is trying to pull the pulley 2. And it is trying to pull the floor downwards. I mean, it's not the floor, it's the ceiling. It is trying to pull the ceiling downwards. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? We have drawn all these tensions clearly, correctly. Akshara has drawn this. What about the others? Shall I repeat it again? Abhiram has also drawn this. So the tension in the string is T. Tension in the string 1 is T. I have drawn T always so that it pulls and not pushes. Now look at this. This is T and this is T. And pulley 1 is ideal. It is massless. So what will be the tension in the upward volley string? T is downwards, T is downwards. What will be the tension in the upper string? You can have a clue from here. T is downwards, T is downwards. Here it was T1. T2 was upwards. What was the relation between T1 and T2? upward was equal to downwards. So can we apply the same logic here? Yes, we can definitely apply. This is T, this is T. So how much will be the upward force? Anyone? How much will be the upward force? Anyone? How much will be the upward force? Anyone? No one knows it. Yes, beta. Upward force will be 2T. Why will it be 2T? Because upward force must be equal to downward force. Downward it is T plus T. So upwards will be 2T. So tension in the second string is 2T. This tension is trying to pull the pulley up. It will also try to pull the ceiling downwards. So this upper wala 2T is the force by string 2 on the ceiling. The niche wala 2T is the force by string 2 on the pulley 1. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Tarun understands this. What about the others? Tarun, Abhiram, Vashant, understand this. Akshara, I've lost you. Vaishnavi, where are you? Vishal, Niharika, Tanu, are you all there in the class? Okay, great. Now let us look at the string number 3. String number 3 and pulley number 2. All eyes on string number 3, pulley number 2. I send you this sheet in PDF form. You can write your notes. Upward force is T and T. Then the downward string force. Upwards is this T plus T. 2T. Pulley is massless. So what will be the downward pulling force? Downward pulling force will be 2T. Do we understand this? Same logic which I applied on pulley number 1. In pulley number 1, downwards was T plus T. So upward became 2T. In pulley number 2, upward is T. So downward becomes 2T. Do we understand this? Pulley number 1, T downwards, 2T upwards. Pulley number 2, T upwards, 2T downwards. Do we understand this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Prashant, Tarun, Niharika, Tanu, Vishal, Vaishnavi, Akshara. Do we understand this, beta? Okay, great. Now, look at this block M2 and draw the free body diagram as M2G. String number 3 is attached to it. String number 3, the tension is 2T, so it will remain 2T. So this becomes the free body diagram of M2. I have not marked the free body diagrams of P1 and P2. I am going to do it now. This red one, this yellow one is the free body diagram of pulley 2. This yellow one is the free body diagram of pulley 1. Do we understand this, everyone? How I have done this? I have not applied anything else. I have just seen the upward force and the downward force on the pulley. Upward force must be equal to the downward force, and that is how I have found out the tension in all the strings. I have not called them T1, T2, T3. I could have called them T1, T2, T3, and then I would have found out the relation. But we don't have so much time that we first call them T1, then T2, then T3, then find out the relation. We can straight away do it on the diagram itself. Save some time because, as you can see, this exam that you're going to give is all about how much time you save. Do you all understand this? Can I move forward? Can I give you one question that you can draw the free body diagram on? See, with time, I can just draw more and more pulleys and make your life more complicated. But see, if you understand the basic concept, nothing can trouble you. So this is a block of mass M. You can call this pulley as 1. You can call this pulley as 2. You can call this pulley as 3. You can call this pulley as 4. Can you draw the free body diagram of the block? Only one block is there. One block. How many pulleys are there? 4 pulleys, right? How many strings are there? String number 1. It is still 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 string number 1. String number 2. String number 3. String number 4. String number 5. So how many strings are there? 5 strings, as I can see. So from 1 string to 3 strings, we have moved on to 5. You can make 7, 11. Doesn't matter. If you understand the concept, you should be able to solve the question. I'm waiting for your answers. I'll give you a minute, 2 minutes. How many of you feel that you can solve this question? Can you raise hands, please? How many of you are feeling confident? I've lowered everyone's hands. How many of you are trying this question? How many of you feel that, sir, we can draw this? Abhiram definitely feels confident about it. What about the others? Akshara, Tanu, Vasant, TNK 3203, Tarun, Tanu, Niharika. Girls are not speaking today. Vishal, BIPC 1306, Akshara, she is also not talking. I'll give you a minute. Think about it. Okay, let me start with my free body diagram. The first thing that I will do is to draw tension in strings. Let me start with string number 1. We'll pull this block up, T. Same string, it will pull this pulley down, T. Same T, pull this pulley down. Same T, pull this pulley up, pull this pulley up. Same T, pull this pulley down, pull this pulley down. Same T, pull this pulley up, pull this pulley up. Same T will pull this ceiling down. So I have now marked tension in the string 1. Everywhere it is pulling things. Now let us move on to pulley number 1. T down, T down. So it will be 2T upwards, same string. So 2T downwards will be the force on the ceiling. Let us now move to pulley number 2. T upwards, T upwards. So 2T will be downwards, 2T downwards. That means on the block it will be 2T upwards. Let me now move on to pulley number 3. T downwards, T downwards. So it will be 2T upwards. 2T upwards means it will be 2T downwards on the ceiling, same string. Let me now move on to pulley number 4. T upwards, T upwards. So it will be 2T downwards. So it will be 2T upwards here, and we are done. Now look at the forces on the mass. T upwards, 2T upwards, 2T upwards. 5T is not downward because it has a mass. So it will be M1 or Mg, and this is the free body diagram of this block. Do we understand this? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? That, sir, it looks very complicated, but sir, I was able to do this. Or sir, maybe I made a mistake in one string. Or sir, okay, sir, I understand this. How many of you have understand this? Have understood this? Please raise hands. Abhiram understood this. What about the others? Tarun joins the party. Vasant Sai, are you there? Did you understand this? TNK 3203. Tanu, Niharika, you're not talking. Vishal, BIPC 1303. Vaishnavi, Akshara, are you all there? Shall I repeat it again? I started with tension number 1, string in tension number 1. I started marking tension in all the parts of the string number 1. Everywhere they are pulling. Then I moved on to string number 1. Then I moved on to string number 2. Then I moved on to string number 3. Pulley number 3, pulley number 4. Found out the tension in all the strings. And then I moved on back to mass 1 and I wrote or drew its free body diagram. Give you one more, a simpler one this time. This is the block mass M1. This is ground. Then I have block of mass M2. You have to draw the FBD of M1 and M2. Now here there is a ground as well. So remember what force will come from ground. So we will have ground, you have pulley, you have string, you have body, you have everything. So this question means that you are doing all the questions together. Please solve this. It is simple, pretty damn simple. So how will you do this? Let us first start with tension. Tension in this string is T. We'll try to pull the mass up. We'll try to pull the pulley down. The same tension will act on the same pulley. But now here in this direction, pulley is only means of changing direction. It is changing the direction here. One block is going to move up and down. The other block is going to move right and left. The same tension acts on this block. So I write this T. So I've drawn the tension. That is my first step. Second step is drawing the force on block M1. M1G is the only force. So this becomes the free body diagram of M1. To draw the free body diagram of M2, I move to M2. Downward force, which is gravity, is M2G. But remember, it is on ground. Ground is in contact. There is no friction, so I call it N2, normal reaction force. So normal reaction force is also coming here. This is the free body diagram of M2. Do you all understand this? Did we all get this? Can I have some reason that we understand this, sir? Great. Then we have a question of this type. This is a pulley. This is a block of mass M1. This is ground. This is an inclined plane. This is a block of mass M2. When you draw the free body diagrams of M1 and M2, free body diagrams of M1 and M2, how will you draw it? Let us first start with tension. Tension on this block is trying to pull it upwards. Tension on the pulley is trying to take it downwards. It's not going to go anywhere. Tension on this pulley, this side will take it downwards here. Tension on this block, same string, same tension, kept on a surface, but wherever it is kept, gravity always acts downwards. It is kept on a surface, so normal reaction acts perpendicular N1 on this block. Gravity acts downwards M2G. Normal reaction acts upwards perpendicular N1G. This entire thing is the free body diagram of this one. This entire thing is the free body diagram of this thing. Do we understand this? We have drawn the free body diagrams of block M1 and M2. Can I have some reason that we understand this? We got this or not? Everyone? Vashant, Tanu, Niharika, Vishal, you all got this, beta? Well done. I'll give you one question for homework, which you will all draw free body diagrams and send your answers on the group of this particular question. I need free body diagrams from everyone. This is ground. Block is kept here. This is M1. This is M2. And this block is M3. I'm looking forward to seeing your free body diagram for this question. I end my class here. What we have discussed today is how to draw free body diagrams of tension. We have also discussed your paper and what you got to do to score marks. Solve this question. It's a simple one. Draw the free body diagram. Put your answers in the Telegram group. I hope to see your answers in the Telegram group. From my side, this is a wrap of things. I hope you love the class and you will study harder and you get more marks. Try better and give your paper seriously. On that note, I'll wind up today's class. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. I hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and happy. Take care.